To start the project, we are going to make a slip knot. To do this, take your yarn and wrap it over 2 fingers, making a circle. Create an X where the yarn crosses, and pull the yarn under the X. Now we have our slip knot. Put your hook through the knot and pull either end to tighten it. Now we are going to chain 4. Wrap your yarn over your hand to keep it taut. Wrap your yarn over your hook and pull it through your knot. That's 1 chain. Now wrap your yarn over your hook, pull it through the knot. That's 2 chains. 3 chains, 4 chains. Now we're going to make this into a circle. Take your hook and place it through that first knot. Now yarn over and pull through both knots. Now you have a circle. Now that we've created our circle, go directly into that circle with your hook. Yarn over and pull through the circle. Now yarn over again and pull through all of the loops. That's a single crochet. We are going to do this 8 times. So put your hook through the circle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through both loops. That's your second single crochet. Now repeat this 6 times. Now to finish the circle, put your hook through the first chain. Yarn over and pull through both loops. Now we need to mark this with a stitch marker. I'm just using a different colored piece of yarn. And this is the beginning of our project. Now for our first row, we're going to go through and do 2 single crochets in every single chain. So you're going to feel for your first stitch, go in through that stitch, which will have 2 pieces of yarn. Yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through both. Now go back into that stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Got my stitch marker stuck in there. We're going to do that all the way around in every single stitch. So every stitch gets 2 single crochets. So feel for your next stitch, go through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, 1 more time in that stitch. Go through the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. That's our third stitch. 1, 2, it's our fourth stitch. Fifth stitch. Sixth stitch. Seventh stitch. Eighth stitch. Now to finish this, you're going to go into the stitch where your stitch marker is. Just go right in there, and then pull that guy through the last stitch that you did. We're going to take our stitch marker out. We're going to mark this as the beginning for our next row. Now our next row is a little different. We are going to do 1 crochet, 1 single crochet in the first stitch, move to the next stitch, and we're going to do 2 in the next stitch. So 1, 2, and now the next one is just 1. And then we repeat that pattern. So now we're going to do 1 single crochet in this stitch, next stitch do 2 single crochets, and then for 1 stitch just do 1. And now we're going to do that all the way around. Now for our next row, the pattern is going to be 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and then the next 3 stitches will have 3 single crochets, and you repeat that all the way around. So you find your first stitch, and we're going to do 2 single crochets in there. We've got 1, 2, and now the following 3 stitches all single. 1 single crochet in the stitch, 1 single crochet in your second stitch, 1 single crochet in that third stitch. Now following, we're going to do 2, 1, 2, and the next 3 will be 1. Now we've got 2, 1, 2, and the next 3 be 1. Now we'll do 2, and now the next 3 will be 1. 2. And the next 3, 1 each. Now 2. Mistake. Make a mistake, just put your hook back into the last stitch of yarn that you're working on and you pull it through. So we're doing 2 here. And gets us to the end. So now we're going to do a slip stitch. So we're going to go in through the stitch with our stitch marker, yarn over, pull through that stitch, pull through that first stitch also. And pull out your stitch mark. Let's replace it in this new stitch. Pull it taut. Now we can go on to our next row. Now for this row, we are going to do 2 of the singles, and then 2 and 1, and then 4. So we're going to go 1, 2, 2 in the stitch, and now 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 2 in this one. And do that all the way around. For our next 2 rows, it's just going to be 1 single crochet per each stitch all the way around. Remember, for a single crochet, you go in through the stitch, which has 2 loops, and you're going to bring your yarn back through, yarn over your crochet hook, and then go through both stitches. So once again, go through the stitch, which the stitch has 2 bits of yarn, which can be a little harder to see. Bring that yarn through, yarn over the needle, and then go through both loops. And you're going to do that all the way around twice. Now it doesn't matter, you can go over or you can go under, whichever is your preference. Both ways work. Alrighty, so we finished those 2 rows of single crochet all the way around. See, it's starting to curl up. That's totally fine. And now our next rose pattern, we're going to do 2 single crochet into the first one, and then the next 5 stitches will all be 1 single crochet each. So So we'll do that all the way around. So that first stitch we'll do 2. And now 5, or single crochet in the next 5. And just repeat that all the way around. Alright, now our next row is going to be a single crochet in the next 3 stitches, then 2 single crochets in that 4th stitch, and then the following 3 stitches will be 1 single. So that's 1 single crochet in that stitch, 1 single crochet in the 2nd stitch, single crochet in the 3rd stitch, now 2 in the 4th stitch, and now your next 3 are going to be 1 in each stitch. And just do that all the way around. Now we are going to do 4 rows of single crochet all the way around. And that's 1. Alright, so now we have our 2 circles. These are our good sides. So to start to combine them, we're going to take the good sides and put those facing together so that the bad side is facing out. You can tell because it will have those tails that we started with. And then you want to have a fair bit amount of extra yarn attached to the end from where you tied off. And we'll start having these lined up. So you'll just leave 1. We'll get to it later. But we'll start using your crochet hook. Just go through the outermost loops and weave it through. You could use a darning needle, but I think the crochet hook is actually easier for this thickness of yarn. And this will go pretty quick. we need to have an opening that will be big enough for us to put our pillow insert in. We're just about there. Alright, so now we'll just loop this through to tie it. There you go. Super cute.